Welcome to The Explainer. Listen closely, because today we're cracking open something absolutely crucial. We're decoding the ultimate, high-stakes blueprint for dominating the notoriously cutthroat U.S. personal finance niche using AI. We're diving deep into the shocking truth of the U.S. economy, the raw, emotional struggle of the American middle class, and exactly how you can use tools like Notebook LM to expose these realities. Seriously, treat this like a leaked conversation that you desperately need to hear. Let's get into it.
So, be honest with yourself for a second. Why are your finance videos getting 0 views? I want you to really think about that, because right now, that's the brutal reality for most creators. While the big players are pulling in millions of views by exposing hard financial truths, most new AI-driven, faceless channels, they're completely stalling out at the starting line. They feel robotic, they're generic, and honestly, they completely miss the urgency of what people are going through right now. If your views are flatlining, you need to pay very, very close attention to what we're about to uncover.
To fix this zero-view crisis, our agenda today is pretty aggressive. We're going to cover the finance creator goldmine, why faceless channels fail, the viral success pattern, the Notebook LM production workflow, and finally, hacking U.S. audience retention.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the finance creator goldmine, and look at who is actually winning the U.S. audience right now.
Just take a look at the massive titans dominating this space. You've got The Ramsey Show taking on the crushing emotional weight of debt and budgeting. Graham Stephan pushing extreme frugality and real estate. Andrei Zik, minority mindset, whiteboard finance. Look, these channels aren't succeeding because they just read the daily news. No way. They are hitting on high-stakes, deeply emotional topics. They're talking about the day-to-day financial survival of the average American, the absolute suffocation of debt, and the desperate, desperate need to build wealth in a system that, frankly, feels totally rigged against them.
And if you look closely, you'll notice they all use this exact same framework, the outcome-based strategy. This is all about focusing your content entirely on a specific, life-changing financial result. Things like getting out of debt, retiring early, or just surviving inflation. You see, the American audience doesn't want a boring list of new AI tools or generic market updates. They are looking for a lifeline. They want the exact blueprint for escaping the middle-class trap. If your content doesn't promise a high-stakes outcome, you're basically invisible to them.
Which brings us right to Section 2, why faceless channels fail and the missing human element. Because if this niche is literally a goldmine of human attention and high ad rates, why are so many new faceless channels crashing and burning?
Well, the harsh truth comes down to 3 fatal mistakes. First up, they're missing expert authority. In the finance space, trust is literally everything. Average faceless videos use these robotic, monotone voices that instantly tell the viewer that there's no real expert here. Second is visual boredom. Static branding, painfully slow stock footage, it feels like a high school economics lecture, not an urgent financial briefing. And third, generic topic selection. They're out here talking about the technical specs of generative AI instead of exposing the shocking truth of how someone can actually make 10 grand this month just to survive.
Just look at the psychology here. A weak title, like Generative AI Explained, is completely sterile, right? It evokes absolutely zero emotion. But contrast that with a viral title. Is AI stealing your job? The brutal truth. Wow, that triggers immediate primal fear. It taps directly into the intense economic anxiety of the middle class and frames the information as a literal emergency. Guys, this is the stark difference between getting 0 views and 1 million views.
Let's move on to Section 3, the viral success pattern, where we'll decode the DNA of these top creators. Let's look at the exact formula that's commanding all this attention.
The pattern across these top channels is unmistakable, and they stick to it religiously. For building trust, you need a consistent presence. If you're not showing your face, you need a signature brand voice and color palette, like deep blue and gold, to establish real authority. For your hook, your first 15 seconds have to hit a massive emotional pain point or intense greed. You've got to state a controversial, urgent truth right out of the gate. For editing, we're talking rapid retention edits with constant visual changes. And those thumbnails? High contrast, shocking numbers, big bold text. They literally scream urgency.
And what exactly are they putting inside these perfectly packaged videos? Viral concepts that expose the system. I'm talking about things like the debt trap, exposing the emotional devastation of credit cards, and how lifestyle inflation is quietly destroying the middle class, leaving 90% of people to die poor.
Or The Great Reset, diving into the shady, hidden history of inflation and why your hard-earned savings are secretly evaporating. These aren't just casual topics. They're intense, life-changing narratives that feel like leaked insider secrets the audience absolutely must hear if they want to survive.
Okay, so Section 4, the Notebook LM production workflow. How do you actually build this low-effort AI blueprint without a massive Hollywood studio? Well, here's your step-by-step masterclass workflow. Step 1, gather high-quality, dense U.S. finance PDFs. We're talking deep articles about consumer debt psychology or the inner workings of the Federal Reserve. Step 2, upload those raw sources directly into a new Notebook LM project. Step 3, and honestly, this is where the magic happens, generate a deep dive audio overview. Notebook LM will literally turn those dense PDFs into a dynamic flowing conversation. Step 4, prompt the AI to write an urgent, high-stakes 10-minute script based on those sources. And finally, Step 5, layer that incredible audio over contextual stock footage using a tool like Canva or NVIDIA AI.
And let me tell you why this workflow is an absolute game changer. Notebook LM's audio overview generates an accent, a tone, and a natural banter that sounds exactly like a real American podcast. It completely wipes out that robotic generic AI voice problem that instantly kills viewer trust. It seriously sounds like two financial experts having a leaked, urgent conversation about the shocking reality of the economy. It feels incredibly genuine, and that authenticity is exactly what buys you the viewer's attention.
But look, just getting them to click and listen for a minute isn't enough, right? We have to keep them hooked until the very last second. So let's hit our final section, Section 5, Hacking U.S. Audience Retention. To survive in this cutthroat niche, you have got to burn this specific number into your brain. Ready? 3 to 5.
That is the absolute maximum number of seconds you are allowed per visual change. 3 to 5 seconds. The US audience has an incredibly short attention span. If you leave a static, boring image on the screen for 10 seconds, they're gone. You have to aggressively change your B-roll, pop up a graph, or zoom in on an image constantly. The pacing of your video has to match the intense urgency of the financial truth you're exposing.
Furthermore, you absolutely must use big, bold subtitles. Think about it. Many of your viewers are consuming this intense content on mute, maybe while commuting to jobs they are desperately trying to escape. The words need to flash brightly right in the center of the screen exactly as they're spoken. Implementing just this one single technique can skyrocket your watch time by up to 40%. It literally forces the viewer's eyes to lock onto the screen.
To wrap up your visual polish, make sure you have absolute contextual sync. If your high-stakes audio mentions Wall Street bankruptcies, you show Wall Street. Do not show generic happy people walking in a park. Maintain a signature branding palette, maybe an electric blue, so your channel feels like a premium, trusted network. And finally, use dry humor and charts. Every single time your urgent audio mentions inflation data or a wealth metric, animate that number on screen. Make the data tangible, hard-hitting, and undeniable.
So, you now have the exact blueprint. You understand the profound emotional struggle of the audience, the raw power of Notebook LM to generate authentic, urgent audio, and the strict visual retention rules you have to follow. The days of making boring, generic AI videos are officially over. So I'll leave you with this one question. What shocking, hidden financial truth are you going to expose first to build your empire?